Hi, guys. Welcome back to Snark Bait. We took a little break from Dark Energy Tuesday this week. So we have a little rerun from a few months ago on our Patreon. It is all about Joe Burrow's love life. This is an episode that is near and dear to my heart. And it's one of our favorite Patreon episodes. So we hope you enjoy. And for more like this, join us on our Patreon.
Patreon.com/snarkbaitpod and sign up on the web browser, not on the Patreon app, because you'll incur incremental fees. And hope you guys enjoy this one.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Patreon. Christy, how are we today on this lovely Saturday, June 7th?
Oh, I am so happy to be home. All we have been doing this past like 2 weeks is go, go, go. And then, of course, I had to travel for work this week. And so this is the first time I'm like back in my home in like 4 nights.
Oh, yeah. How was Atlanta?
It was fine. It's one of those things where you would expect to meet like your future husband there. I'm like, you know what? This is a time I'm gonna meet men. When I tell you, there's nowhere that's least appealing when it comes to men than an accounting conference. Okay. To be clear, everyone was nerdy. I was like, there's not a single prospect in sight. However, I will say, when you go to conferences and they have vendor booths like set up, people trying to sell you stuff, everyone on the marketing team of these vendor booths, hot as fuck. I was like looking at all of them, like gawking. I'm
Damn.
like, these marketing dudes, like these hot guys at these booths.
So, did you hit on any?
No, I don't even know how to. I need my baby snarks to tell me how to approach men because it's
I
foreign
was
to me.
just telling I was out with a few of my single friends the other night, and
Hmm.
I was like, I want a wing woman. Like, I feel like I was always a good wing woman. I'm a little rusty, obviously, because I've been married and
Yeah.
with Henry for a while, but like, I don't even know. None of us knew where to go to even flirt with guys because people don't like go out anymore.
No. And I think what's odd
It's
about
like
being in your
nobody wants to have fun anymore. Oh, you didn't watch Sex in the City. Never mind.
But I was gonna say that like in your 30s, you can't just go to the bar because then you're like that older person that's like lingering from the shadows. When I was in my 20s, I was like popping my pussy at every bar. It's not really appropriate anymore, I feel.
Oh my God, no, you can go out at any age. It's just I don't know where to go. Like I don't know where people go out anymore.
No,
Maybe
same.
it's the fact that I'm just like I'm out of I don't know if it's that people don't go out anymore or I'm so like out of that phase of my life. But I also a couple weeks ago was out with some of my single girlfriends and we were literally hunting for a
Yeah.
bar with
On
guys.
ma Right. Like Google
We
Maps, like where do we go?
we went to several bars and we were like, we're the hot guys. We're
Yeah.
like the people. Everyone looked like they were a monster from the movie The Descent.
I don't know the reference, but like that sounds about right. Being
Yeah.
single in this day and age, spot
Also,
on.
I have a lot of family in Atlanta. And so I was like, Christy, if you need anything,
Yeah.
if God forbid there's an emergency, you know who to call in Atlanta. So I'm glad that you didn't need to do that.
Both of our we both have Auntie Lindas. We've
Yeah.
we've
Yeah, we both have
realized.
Aunt Linda's. Okay, so I am very excited for today's episode. We are talking about someone who is very dear and near to my heart, Mr. Joseph Lee Burrow. Christy, what was your familiarity with Joe Burrow before reading this outline?
Minimal. And I'm so glad you're walking me through this because he is one of those blind spots for me. And when it comes to sports in general, it's a whole, the entire
Hmm.
sports world is a blind spot. But Joe Burrow is just such a handsome man and he seems like such a nice guy.
Hmm.
And of course, we've heard the most recent rumblings about his romance with Olivia Pontton, which of course we're going to get into in the outline. But
Hmm.
he is just a mystery to me. And it's
Hmm.
so surprising when I was reading through this how he was in such a long-term relationship with such a normie. And I'm excited to kind of delve into the
Hmm.
lore because he seems like a guy probably you went to high school with, being
Oh,
from
totally. Yeah.
Ohio.
Yeah. So I guess let's get into his background. He was originally born December 10th, 1996 in Ames, Iowa, Sagittarius. I love Sagittarii. That's a good sign.
My sister's a Sagittarius. Shout
Love
out.
every Sagittarius I've ever met. I love. Shortly thereafter, his family relocated to Athens, Ohio, which is where he grew up. And Athens is not super close to Cincinnati. It's more on the eastern border of Ohio. It borders Pennsylvania. and it's considered Appalachia. So it's very rural. It's where Ohio
Okay.
University is. It's kind of known as like a college town. It's pretty just rural, like kind of small town Ohio is what I would consider it. It's definitely not one of the bigger cities in Ohio at all.
Speaking of Appalachia, I just
Hmm.
have to ask you, being from the Midwest, when I'm on TikTok, sometimes I'll see like videos of people saying, I don't know if this is offensive to say, but this is just what the TikTok title says. It'll say
Oh God, I'm scared.
the feral people from Appalachia, like the people that live in the woods.
Oh, there
Is
are some, yeah, there are like
Yeah,
some, yeah,
that's a
that
thing, right?
I mean, it's a large area of the country, and there are uneducated, a little bit incestuous people that live in Appalachia in the wilderness.
Right.
Like
And
they don't go to
sometimes,
school, they don't really, but that's like, I think that's like a very obviously small percentage. There are a lot of,
right.
extremely normal areas of Appalachia, but that's like a thing.
Yeah,
Um,
that's like a
yeah,
whole
like
different part of an episode. I would love to hear your opinion because there's also lore about like Wendigos. Have you heard of that too?
no, I think you should look into that and we can do that on the
Yeah,
Patreon in the future. That's your
definitely.
next assignment. That's your homework.
Yeah, I'm that sorry to get us diverted, but when you said Appalachia, I couldn't help but bring it
Yeah.
up.
But just to put into perspective, like he grew up in a very like rural small town. He comes from a family of athletes. His dad played football, also coached, but not in like the big leagues. And his two older brothers played football as well. His older brothers, I do not know what they look like. They are like such mysteries to me. He obviously played football in high school and also played basketball. And fun fact, his high school stadium is now named after him, which is very cute. So Joe began his collegiate career at Ohio State, but he was not a starter. Actually, my cousin played with him when my cousin played at Ohio State. And that's why I have several cousins that went to Ohio State and are around the same age as Joe. So that's why I don't want to say I have mutual friends with him, but like they have people in common, which is how I get insider tea sometimes about him, which is great. But he was a perpetual backup at Ohio State, which was obviously frustrating for him. Like knowing Joe Burrow today, he is like, they call him like an ice in his veins, ice cold assassin. Like he is so fucking competitive. So it
Mm,
definitely killed him that he was just a backup at Ohio State. He was not a star, he's not a starter. But Ohio State is where he met his longtime girlfriend, Olivia Holtzmacher. And she's actually a Cincinnati native. So, frustrated with being a backup at Ohio State, he eventually transferred to Louisiana State University in 2018, where he completely excelled as the starting quarterback alongside Jamar Chase, who is his current wide receiver one at Cincinnati on the Bengals. Also, Justin Jefferson, more current NFL stars. And he just like really popped off that year. And that year, his senior year in 2019, he led the LSU Tigers to an undefeated season and eventually a national championship title and then won the Heisman. So the Heisman is the like biggest award in
right,
college sports.
right.
And so he became like the number one draft prospect alongside Tua. I never know how to say Tua's last name in 2020. So simultaneously, the Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals, my team, and let's be clear here, by the way, that I do not know sports except football. Like I don't even. We had a baseball team too, the Reds. We have a baseball team, Cincinnati. I don't pay attention to baseball. We didn't have a basketball team. We didn't have like hockey. There
Mm,
was just no other sports that I really cared about. But my family, my entire family have always been huge Bengals fans. So that's the only sport I ever paid attention to. But like even marginally growing up. And
yeah.
then I think like after I graduated college and started going to like the Bengals bar in New York, I started to
Hmm.
get way more into it. But
I remember
I'm
actually,
not sporty.
I remember the first time we ever interacted on X Knows All, my original podcast. I think it was the first episode you and I had ever recorded together. And I was like, oh, introduce yourself. And that was one of the things that you mentioned. You're like, go Bengals.
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing. I hate
No,
that
it's
about
not.
me.
No, it's no, I'm like obviously exaggerating it. It wasn't, you didn't do this, but you're like, I'm Sophie Ross, go Bengals, or something like that.
Oh
And I
my
was
God,
like,
that's
oh,
so pick me. I'm such a pick me. I'm not like other girls. I actually like know sports. No, but I just want to qualify the fact that like I do not know sports at all, except I barely know anything about any other NFL team. I just always liked the Bengals because my family liked the Bengals. I don't know. And so, since the Bengals simultaneously were really, really, really shitty that year, going into 2020, the year that we ended up drafting Joe Burrow, we had the number one draft pick. And so it was kind of like, are we going to pick Tua? Are we going to pick Joe Burrow? We picked Joe Burrow, which I think everyone was really happy about because not only is he like really talented and really good at being a quarterback, obviously, he is so like he has this star power. Like he's so attractive. He's so pretty. And he just is exactly the type of leader that you would want for your team. And the Bengals historically have been a quote unquote poverty franchise because it's a small market team. It doesn't get the same attention as, say, the Dallas Cowboys, the New York Giants, the Philadelphia Eagles. Shout out Jordan, our producer, and Henry, husband of the pod, Eagles fans. It's a smaller market. And it also has actually the least wealthy owners in the NFL, Mike Brown. So I actually put a little listicle on here that illustrates the net worths of every NFL ownership. So you have the Broncos. Rob Walton,
Wow.
the owner of the Broncos, is worth $77.4 billion.
Holy
The
fuck.
the Hunt family for the Kansas City Chiefs is $24.8 billion, so on and so on. At the very bottom of the list, you guys, and the Packers aren't included because that's a team that doesn't have one owner, it's a bunch of shareholders. At the very bottom of the list is Mike Brown, who's the owner of the Bengals, $925 million, which is obviously nothing to sneeze at, but like the Bengals,
Comparatively.
yeah, comparatively, the Bengals just don't have a lot of money. And he's famously very cheap, our owner. So for that reason, prior to the draft, everyone was telling Joe Burrow, like, don't fucking play for the Bengals. Like, they're so cheap. You're going to fail there. It's like the worst franchise to go to. They were telling him to pull an Eli. So famously, Eli Manning did this when he was originally drafted by the San Diego Chargers. And he was like, I don't want to play for you guys, and demanded that they traded him to the New York Giants, like a spoiled brat. But it worked out for him because he won, I
Wow.
think, two Super Bowls there. But he did not pull an Eli. He was actually really happy to join the Bengals. He expressed that being in Ohio, close to home, was important to him. And it probably also helped that his longtime girlfriend, Olivia, was also from Cincinnati and lived there. So, yeah, just immediately he started killing it on the Bengals.
He's
Um,
humble. He's a humble guy. He doesn't care about the glitz and the glam. He just is like down to his roots, even if it doesn't make him the most
exactly.
money.
And that's why people loved him and still love him. But especially then, it was like he's just like this normal small town Ohio kid that like wants to play for the small Ohio team. And there was something very down to earth about him because he was literally from our state, from Athens, Ohio, and had this girlfriend, his very normal college sweetheart. Unfortunately, his first season playing for the Bengals, he tore his ACL and MCL in his left knee during week 11. Bengals fans were understandably devastated, but he still had a really impressive rookie season. So the 2021 season is when Joe officially popped off. And it was the first time that he was really healthy because his rookie season, he got injured. For context, the Bengals had not won a playoff game since the year 1990. So, as a
Wow.
Bengals fan, I literally had never in my lifetime seen the Bengals win one. We'd been to the playoffs a bunch of times, like several years in a row, but lost in the first round every single year. But that all changed during the 2021 season. Joe popped off and led the Bengals to a 10-7 record, which was enough to win the AFC North division. He had the Bengals single season record of passing yards with 4,611, Bengals record 34 touchdowns. Passer rating was second in the NFL at 108.3 yards per attempt, 8.9, led the NFL. He also took the most sacks in the NFL at 51. I know these numbers like don't mean a lot to you, Chris.
But they will to most of our listeners because they're smarter than me. I know nothing about sports, but I'm like, hmm.
So, more of the story is that he was extremely impressive. So, not only is he gorgeous, you're so gorgeous, which also there is like an overlap randomly. I don't know if I included this on the outline. There's an overlap of Swifties being obsessed with Joe Burrow. I don't know why. It's like it's some sort of, I need to like look into this. I need to
Interesting.
investigate this, but it's a very, very interesting phenomenon that I've noticed on the internet that Swifties love him.
It's because we have taste. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Let's take a quick ad break to talk about Lolo blankets. One thing about me is that I'm literally always cold, which means I always need to be wrapped in a blanket when I'm home, day or night, rain or shine, July or January. And as soon as I first got my hands on one of the famous Lolo blankets, I was hooked. It's so soft, big, and cozy. I got the size large, and it's the perfect couch blanket, but also an amazing extra layer for our bed during the winter months, which I'm so excited to use it for. It's seriously the best thing to wrap myself in when I'm watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, Love is Blind UK, Dexter Resurrection. You guys know the vibes. I'd seen so much about Lolo blankets on social media, and now I can confirm firsthand that they absolutely live up to the hype. They're made from just the softest luxury vegan faux fur with a signature four-way stretch. And this part is huge for me as a dog mom. They're machine washable. Lola has over 10,000 five-star reviews, and once you feel them, you'll understand why. For a limited time, our listeners are getting a huge 35% off their entire order at lolablankets.com by using code SNARK at checkout. Just head to lolablankets.com and use code SNARK for 35% off. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Wrap yourself in luxury with Lola blankets. So in January 2022, Joe Burrow led the Bengals to their first playoff win in 31 years against Las Vegas Raiders, and I was there with Henry and my family, and it was incredible. I like can't even put into words how special it was to witness. Like it just, I don't know. We're so attached to him now because of that moment alone. We ended up going to the Super Bowl that year for the first time since 1989. And again, like this is just something that we as Bengals fans would never dream of, especially 2 years earlier. We had the number one pick in the draft. We were that bad. We unfortunately lost the Super Bowl. And to this day, the Bengals have never won a Super Bowl, but that was the closest that we got. And the loss is largely attributed to the Bengals' terrible offensive line. Again, he led the NFL in sacks taken. Our O line is known for being like literally the worst in the NFL. And the
Mhm.
fact that Joe remains so poised, calm, and successful with the offensive line that he has. Do you know what an offensive line is, Christy?
It's like when you have control of the ball.
Sorry, no, I'll explain. So the offensive line, like they're the people that guard him in front of him. So,
Gotcha.
when a play is happening and the opposing defense is trying to get to the quarterback, they're trying to sack him, they're trying to
Hmm.
like block the pass. The offensive line they're like his bodyguards.
Hmm. Gotcha.
So his O line sucked. Those players have never been good. The coach, we actually just fired our coach in the offseason. So hopefully our new O line will be good under a new coach. But the fact that he was so good despite this terrible O line, his bodyguards made it even more impressive.
Yep.
He's just there's something like so like he's so poised and calm. There's no stress under pressure. And like other quarterbacks like Josh Allen, who just married Haley Steinfeld,
Hmm.
by the way, their wedding looked beautiful. He's the quarterback for the Bills. And while he's very successful, under pressure, you can tell he's so in his head and gets extremely, extremely nervous and always ends up fucking up and shitting the bed.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. And so Joe Burrow is just, he's really calm, collected,
Yes.
good with his nerves. Okay. Love that for him.
Exactly. I love it it's like honestly so inspiring. It's like
No, it is.
I don't know what maybe he takes
Yeah.
beta blockers.
Maybe that. And I was going to say it speaks to just a quiet confidence that I think is
Yes.
really hard for people to attain, especially in such high intense, high pressure situations. So it's like,
Exactly.
damn, if you can be calm, cool, and collected, one of the biggest nights of your life,
Yes.
I'd imagine he's like that in his personal life too.
Yes. And also the fact that like you can be really good at football, like Josh Allen or whoever it is, but being able to stay calm under pressure is like such a rare skill to have. Like
Mm.
it's not even like a skill, it's just something you're born with, I think. But anyway, this Super Bowl is when he became an NFL it boy because people who never heard of the Bengals because they were such a small market team saw him in the Super Bowl and they were like I remember going to work the next day and I work in fashion, so I have all like girls and gay guys
Yeah.
and they knew that I was a Bengals fan and they were like, "What the fuck? Joe Burrow's so fucking hot." And I was like, "Yeah, I've been telling you guys."
Join the club.
Yeah.
It's like you found
Um,
out about their indie rock band before anyone else.
yeah, like I discovered him. I basically invented him. So,
I invented her, you know what I mean?
and so this is when he really transcended onto the national slash international stage. Um, and something else that he got attention for, other than like his dreamy movie star looks, is that he would experiment with fashion in a really fun, unique way. Like, they have like the photo op when they're walking in with their little
Hmm.
briefcases and they have their headphones in and they're getting in the zone for the game. Like, he would always be like wearing some really like crazy fashion outfit. And like there were some misses, like people make fun of him for dressing like Ellen DeGeneres or like a lesbian in his pantsuits. But he takes risks with fashion, which I think a lot of people always thought was interesting.
Well, that speaks to his quiet confidence.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't have to
definitely.
try. He's like, I don't give a shit if you think that I look crazy or that I look
Yeah.
like a clown. I'm fucking confident in what I'm wearing right now. And that
Yes.
translates to the field.
Yes, exactly. He has this quiet swagger. And it's funny because, like, during press conferences, he's really, you can tell he's kind of like a nerd. Like, he's kind of a little bit like awkward. But at the same time, he has this like quiet
Yeah.
swagger to him. There's something very just like maybe he's, yeah,
Like, look at
exactly.
this. Like, he's look,
Yes.
and if you're on tier 2, you can see he's wearing this like crazy suit.
Suit. Yeah.
It looks like like zebra print almost,
Yeah.
but not. Yeah.
I don't know. It's just he's a nerd. He's obsessed with science podcasts. Yeah, exactly. He's obsessed with like science podcasts and like science and just like nerdy stuff. Like he's kind of just like this quiet, awkward nerd, but at the same time has so much like swagger. I don't know.
God, he's so hot. I
I know
can't even.
he's very hot. And he also is a case of like getting good veneers. I don't think you could argue that he needed them, but
Yeah.
his veneers are really good. They're not like Carl Radke, which by the way, on the Summer House reunion part 2, Carl said his teeth are such an insecurity of his. And I
I was
felt really
listen.
bad.
I was listening to Watch What Crappens, and Ben goes, he was definitely talking about us when he said that people were making fun of his
Yeah.
teeth. Ben's like, I feel so badly. We definitely gave him shit all of season 1. And
Wait.
I knew he was talking about us because we were the only people recapping that at the time.
Yeah. And then Andy goes, your teeth look a lot better now. And on Watch What Crappens, they're like, that's probably like not what he wants to hear.
Okay, wait, really quick side note. I think I was on the phone with someone and I went, wow. And then I thought of you, wow.
Wow.
If you
Ghost
guys know what we're
Padma.
talking, yeah, go.
Ghost Padma. It's the Watch What Happens Top Chef recaps, which like everyone needs to listen to, even if you don't watch Top Chef. They're the funniest recaps that Ben and Ronnie do.
Sophie had me listen to it,
Wow.
and she's like, it's okay if you don't even watch the show. Like, it's so fucking funny. And I was cracking up because Sophie was like, okay, so this is what they're explaining. She would pause it. So this is what's happening. So this chef is like this, and this chef is like this. And I
Yep.
was fully engrossed into the
Yep.
podcast episode despite never watching Top
By the way,
Chef.
the episode of Top Chef that we watched in LA, their recap for that episode is so fucking funny. You should listen to it because you actually watched the episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, back to Joe Burrow. The 2022 season, this was the season after he took the Bengals to their first Super Bowl since the 80s. They came close to another Super Bowl, unfortunately lost to the eventual Super Bowl winning Chiefs during the AFC Championship game. And to this day, the Chiefs and Bengals have kind of this rivalry because Joe Burrow is the only quarterback that can go into that stadium and beat Patrick Mahomes over and over again. And Olivia, our researcher, is actually a Chiefs fan. So sorry, Olivia, but Joe Burrow is better than Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion. Patrick Mahomes is like the number one, like kind of objectively known as the best quarterback in the NFL. It's a dynasty at this point. And, you have Travis Kelsey, and they're just like this massive dynasty.
Would you say that the Kansas City Chiefs are kind of like what the Patriots were?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. That's
And
like a known thing, right?
yeah, because you can't really call yourself a dynasty, quote unquote, until you win like multiple Super Bowls. And the Patriots had multiple Super Bowls. The Chiefs now have multiple.
Yep.
You could say the Eagles, the Philadelphia Eagles now are like a dynasty in the making, but you're
Mhm.
not considered one until you win multiple,
Gotcha.
several.
Gotcha.
Meanwhile, the Bengals have never won one. Okay, so 2023 season, going into that season, Joe Burrow signed his contract extension, 5-year, $275 million, making him the highest paid player in NFL history on an annual basis at that point. Unfortunately, in week 11, once again, Joe injured his right wrist, which is his throwing arm, and was out for the rest of the season. This was once again, devastating for Bengals fans. And that's kind of a criticism of him, is that he's a little bit injury prone. But like, I don't know what
Mm,
you do about that. It's like,
yeah.
I don't know. There's not much to do. And also, a lot of that has to do with the fact that his offensive line fucking sucks, because those
Hmm.
are the people that are supposed to protect him from the opposing defense. 2024 season, the most recent season, outside of Joe played incredible this past season, but the Bengals were terrible. Joe was visibly frustrated several times on the sideline, and the season highlighted how no matter how talented and amazing the Bengals quarterback is, without a good supporting cast, the team won't be successful. And our supporting cast this year, the rest of the team just was not good. And again, there are just like whispers that Joe is getting sick of the Bengals front office, and that he will eventually demand a trade, and he will eventually abandon this small market team to go somewhere bigger, brighter, more
Yep.
successful. That's always a possibility. And I think that Bengals fans, if that happens, which I pray it doesn't, will be devastated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's get into his relationship with Olivia Holtzmacher, his college sweetheart. So Joe and Olivia met at OSU and started dating around 2017. And they continued to date even after Joe transferred to LSU and into his first few years as a Cincinnati Bengal. And what was always kind of like notable about the relationship is that Olivia is very normal. Like she's such a pretty girl, but she's like girl next door pretty. She
Yeah.
doesn't look like an Instagram baddie with like huge lips and huge boobs. Like she's just like a normal girl. And
Totally.
even when she was with Joe Burrow with his multi-million-dollar contract, she was working at Kroger's corporate in Cincinnati. Do you guys have Kroger's?
We do. Yeah. In
I
certain
didn't know if
parts.
it's just a Midwestern thing because we don't have it on the East Coast, but
Yeah, it's like certain parts of California, but it's like owned. I think it owns Safeway. I don't know if you guys have Safeway too or Ralph's. It's the
I've heard of
same.
Safeway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like she's very pretty, but she's not, supermodel status or like Haley Steinfeld, like a famous actress or even
Right.
an Instagram baddie. She's just a normal girl who liked him before he was rich and famous.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's so quote unquote normal and relatable has caused fans to have like this mega parasocial relationship with her, especially after their breakup, which we will get to. So if you go to like NFL, what's it called? Wives of NFL is the subreddit. Now there's
Mhm.
and it started to get overtaken by Joe Burrow and Olivia Holtzmacher and Olivia Pontton
Oh,
posts. So they started another subreddit called Joe Burrow Gossip. People are obsessed with her.
like they love
Obsessed.
her, the OG
Love,
girlfriend.
love her. It isn't a situation where it's like we hate her. She got to date Joe Burrow. Like people love her because she's so normal.
Yep. Is she
And
private on Instagram or
She's
public?
she's public, but she's
Okay.
not like an influencer. Like she posts,
Gotcha.
it's actually really cute. She disappeared for a little bit from social media after they broke up, but recently all she posts is plants. It's really cute. Like she's always planting stuff and
Mm.
growing herbs and like baking.
Yeah, she's super cute. I'm on her Instagram, right, followed by
Yeah.
Soph_Ross.
Yeah, like I follow her and I really enjoy just how normal. I think she ended up moving to Nashville from Cincinnati
Yep, you're
after
right.
they
She
broke
did.
up. And they were always very private, by the way. Like no one knows a whole lot about their relationship or their breakup.
Yeah.
Joe in general is very private about his personal life. Even when they broke up, it was never like announced. And he also never
Yeah.
really publicly, like when he became a Bengal, and some of this may have been to protect her from like the rabid fans that are obsessed with him, but he never really posted her. He posted her like in college a little bit. But once he became an NFL player, she was never featured that much on his Instagram. But they were just in general really private. So in early 2024, it was rumored that Joe and Olivia had broken up after around 7 years together. And they had never like announced this officially. There were even like rumors that they'd gotten engaged, but obviously that wasn't true. But it was never like announced. Fans just kind of like it just kind of became public knowledge eventually. And I actually got word that they broke up. It was like being whispered about, but I got confirmation from my mutuals that I have. And I tweeted this.
I was crying, Sophie, when I was reading the outline. You're so funny.
So in April 30th, 2024, I tweeted, Joe Burrow is officially single, and unfortunately, I'm inevitably going to turn into my own Club Chalamet when he starts dating a hot young starlet or Instagram model. Club Burrow.
That's so fucking funny.
And Bengals fans were so mad at me. Like everyone was so mad. They were like, they didn't break up. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you're just making this up. And I was like, okay, just wait and see.
Oh shit. Okay, so you
And
knew the insider tea before
I
it was
did.
legit. Okay.
I did because of like kind of the mutuals that I have. And I think Bengals fans also took it personally when they broke up because Joe is seen as this kind of like nice small town hodunk Midwestern boy.
Yep.
And they're like, yeah, of course he's going to end up with his college sweetheart. He's just like a nice, normal guy. He doesn't care about the Hollywood baddies and the starlets and like the Instagram models. But unfortunately, as he's gotten more famous and successful, a lot of Bengals fans have, discovered that he's kind of gone Hollywood, quote unquote. And Olivia was something that made him seem so down to earth. And now, he's rich, famous, successful. He literally could be with any woman he wants.
Yeah.
But Bengals fans were kind of convinced that he didn't care about that stuff, that all he cared about was playing football and being this nice Midwestern boy, which obviously is not true anymore. No one knows exactly why they broke up. The obvious assessment is that now that, he is rich and famous and attractive, I mean, he's always been attractive, but now that he's rich and famous, he can be with any woman he wants and probably wanted to be single and experience this lifestyle of hooking up with whoever he wants. But others have speculated, and I think that this actually has some truth to it, that Olivia wanted marriage and children,
Mm.
and Joe wants to be a bachelor forever. He doesn't want a family at all. So kind of the Aaron Rodgers route. And I think there's some truth to it that Joe maybe just does not care about being a dad or being a husband. Like he just doesn't care about having a family and that. And Olivia was like, okay, well, then I'm done.
Yeah. And you got to
Um,
respect that. If they realize that they don't want different things, they're still young enough to take separate paths
totally.
and she can get her happy ending with the family that she deserves.
Totally. I completely agree. Like good for them for realizing.
Yeah.
So post Olivia, post, their breakup. He has modeled in Paris Fashion Week. He went to Michael Rubin's Hamptons White Party. He went to the
Ugh.
Met Gala.
Yeah.
So he went from being the small town Ohio kid to, rubbing shoulders with A-listers and supermodels. And, I just think it's kind of sad because Olivia loved him when he had nothing. When he was a nobody, Olivia loved him. And that is so hard to find. And that's why,
Yeah.
when it comes to a lot of people hate on like Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife, because she's like really annoying. But I'm like, she loved him when he had nothing. Like, let her be
Totally.
annoying. Let her be annoying.
Can I just be so for real though? If I were Olivia, his ex, I would just like some part of me would die every time I would see him at an event like the White Party or the Met Gala. And just once he's seen with another woman hand in
Yeah.
hand at these carpets, I would die. That's just
No, I know. Because
horrible.
it's like, how do you get over Joe Burrow?
You
You
don't.
know?
Like you literally don't. He's the loss of her life.
I know, but he might look at Olivia Holtzbacher the same way. Like
I was
he
gonna
might be
say,
like she is the one that got away, because
totally.
she loved me when I was nothing.
Right.
It's actually really sad on my like for you page on TikTok. I'll get edits of like Olivia and Joe because fans are so obsessed with them still, and it'll be like that Gracie Abrams song that's like that's just the way life goes. And it's like
Na,
so
na,
sad. I'm like, if
na.
I were Olivia and came across these edits, I would crash out.
Do you ever think that celebrities do look at their fan edits from their exes with their exes?
I'm
I would.
sure. I'm sure. Um, Also, I saw a tweet that was like, if I were a movie star and had a hot co-star, I'd be like, yeah, you should ship me with that person. I would like let myself get shipped all the time with like hot celebrities. So there's actually this picture that I included on the outline of Joe and Jamar Chase. So that's another Bengals player, and Jake Paul at Michael Rubin's white party. So this ain't no hodunk Midwestern boy anymore. Let me tell you.
No. But isn't
Um,
Jake from Ohio as well? I think so.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Jake and Logan Paul are from Cleveland.
So you know what? We got to stand like two boys just coming from
They made
nothing.
it. They
They
made it.
made it. So you know what? I will stand this picture, even though Jake Paul is nefarious.
Yeah, you know what? You got a point. All that's missing is me, the other Ohio legend. Should I Photoshop myself in the middle over Jamar Chase?
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Michael Rubin, by the way, Jordan goes, Michael Rubin, also nefarious. Fun fact, Henry and I saw Michael Rubin in Bryn Mawr in a Philly suburb, and we were picking up bagels, and he was like picking up bagels, I think, at the same time. And yeah, he's from the main line, Jordan says. And yeah, there he's very nefarious as well. Like, why are you letting your teenage daughter like come to your like really gross, scary white party? You
You're
know?
really gross,
They're
scary white
scary.
girl.
Like I don't want to be like that. Like I know that it's not Diddy's thing anymore, and I know it's a
Sure.
separate thing, but like there's something still where I'm like, there's some bad shit happening. Like Lily Chi and Toby Maguire. Okay,
Please.
so we're gonna touch on some of that. But anyway, Olivia Holtzmacher for her part since the breakup. Again, she mostly just posts her like plans and stuff on Instagram. And again, she took a long break and then came back and seemingly confirmed the breakup because she had a bookshelf filled with like breakup books. And I want to say one was Jay Shetty's.
Ugh. And can I say, we've never received so many DMs than when I post, like when I shit
Yeah.
talk Jay Shetty and everyone's like, he's so deeply dark. Please do an episode on him.
Yes. Yes.
He sucks.
We do. I think we do need to do a Jay Shetty episode at some point.
Agreed.
But again, she's just like seems like she's thriving, like baking and with her plants and her little garden. Like she's so wifey. Like
I'm
if I were Joe Burrow, I'd be like, yeah, that's the one that got away.
Yeah, no, and she seems down to earth, cool, wifey. And I'm curious, is there anyone we can think of that's a huge, big celebrity name, whether in sports, entertainment, that are dating normies? I'm trying to think and rack my brain.
Oh, Matt Damon, Matt Damon's wife.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
I
Matt
love
Damon's
that.
wife, I think was I want to say a waitress when they met, and she's always just but they've been together for obviously like decades now.
I think
Um,
Penn Badgley as well is with a
Yeah.
normie.
Penn Badgley's wife is Jemima Kirk's sister. So I think that's kind of like a Nepo family. Like they're kind of like an artsy, like London family.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, let us know, you guys, if you can think of someone. And yeah, and she's an actress too, I think. But if there's a celebrity you can think of who is with a normie, let us know.
You know what I was thinking though? If I were really, really, really famous, you almost want to be gravitated towards other famous people because you don't think that they're in it for clout. Like it's a trust thing. I understand why
Yeah.
people link up with other people that are high powered because it's a power dynamic. Actually, I think of
Yeah.
Ariana Grande and Ethan Gomez,
Slater,
but no, her ex-husband.
Dalton Gomez.
Yeah, Dalton Gomez, who I bet you that was a large part of why their marriage was frayed because she was largely the breadwinner, a huge
Yeah.
celebrity, and he was a nobody.
Well, I think of Timothy and Kylie. I'm like, yeah, it does kind of make sense because they're both
Hmm.
like, how can you find someone that relates
Right.
to that level of fame and attention? And you
Right.
know that there aren't any like, I mean,
Ulterior.
there could be ulterior motives. There could be like, I want
Um,
attention and PR from dating this person, but at the same time, like, I feel like it makes sense.
yeah.
So, who has Joe been linked to since the breakup? At one point, he followed and then unfollowed a bunch of OnlyFans models at one point, and
Ooh.
his stands are like psychotic, so they notice these things. And I'm like a stan, but I mean like his hardcore, like Swifty level stands. He is rumored to have been hooking up with OnlyFans model Baby Doll Kaylee at Baby Doll Kaylee at one point. Demois posted a rumor about him hooking up with going home with one of Brooke Snyder's sisters, one of her little sisters. I get them all mixed up, so I cannot tell you which one. Brooke Snyder, I want to say hinted to it on a podcast once also, but I tried to find that podcast clip. I saw it on TikTok, I'm pretty sure. I searched high and low. I could not find this clip of her referencing it, but it's like I think a known thing that he had hooked up with one of the Nader sisters. He has been linked to some rando named Amy Rodriguez from Vero Beach, Florida, who is also a normie, you guys.
Hmm.
She has like a LinkedIn. Like she's not,
Wow.
so that's like alleged, but that's someone that allegedly he has been linked to. And then another insider tea that I got from a baddie, trigger warning Ryan Bailey listener, was that he was allegedly hooking up with a single mom of three in Cincinnati who was recently divorced. And this was a Cincinnati based follower that I heard this from. And word was like going around the country clubs there. And Demois confirmed that this was a viable rumor that had legs to it.
Huh.
And so again, another normie. Like I think he like likes normies, but then he also, is linked to non-normies. Like we'll get to Olivia Pontton. But at one point, he was linked to Olivia Jade. He loves Olivia's, but I don't think that was actually a thing. I think that they just have mutual friends
Mm.
and they were spotted in a group together.
She's not with Jacob Elordi anymore?
I don't know
I,
what her status is with Jacob
yeah,
Elordi.
because they were together for a while, but you're right. I
Yeah.
haven't heard about them in a really long time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but yeah, that was like that didn't really have any truth to it as far as I know. But as for his relationship with Olivia Pontton, most famously, let's get
Sure.
into that. So there were rumors about them for a little bit. So when it came out that they had been hooking up, I was not super surprised because it was something that had kind of been rumored for a while. But she's a TikTok influencer, Olivia Pontton, and it all came to a head, became
I remember
exposed
this. Yeah.
on December 9th, 2024, when Joe was gone for an away game and his house was broken into. And it was funny. I was in Japan on my honeymoon when this happened, and I remember it vividly. Like this was like such a canon event. And so basically, this woman called to report the break-in
Hmm.
and was at first introduced as his employee, but then the identity was exposed that this was Olivia Pontton, his employee.
Yep.
So obviously the story went extremely viral and everyone was freaking out about it. They were like, okay, Olivia Pontton and Joe Burrow, it's official. And she had been also spotted in Cincinnati a few times. So clearly this had been like going on for a little bit. At a Bengals press conference soon after, Joe was visibly upset by his personal life becoming public. And like I understand that he's just an athlete and he doesn't want technically want to be a celebrity. Like he didn't sign up to be a celebrity. He signed up to play a football
Sure.
game.
Sure.
So I understand that he is just this super, super, super private guy. But then at the same time, you're moving like a celebrity because you're going to the Met Gala, you're going to white parties, you're going to Paris Fashion Week. So like I get that he wants to remain private to some degree, but like I wouldn't roll my eyes at it as much as if he wasn't fully in the Hollywood scene as much as he is, you know?
Those three events that you just rattled off, that's as Hollywood as it gets, baby.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like I you gotta pick a lane because if you're
Yes.
gonna move like a celebrity, people are gonna treat you like a celebrity and gawk at your love life and be more invested. But if you really cared about being a private citizen and being private, then you wouldn't show up to the fucking Met Gala, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so interesting because for someone who was so rattled by this December 2024 incident, at some point you're going to have to realize that your life is now under a microscope, whether you like it or
Yeah.
not. So you better lean in, get a good PR publicist, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
let's go, baby. You're here.
Yeah,
Welcome.
exactly. Exactly. And then they weren't really linked together again. So people were speculating that maybe he like had dumped Olivia because she also was doing this thing where she was like posting like his like LSU wristband. Like she was kind of hinting to the fact that they were together and clearly loving the attention. So people were like, Joe probably hates that because he like wants to be more private. But I guess not because they were linked together again during the F1 race weekend in Miami pretty recently when they got out of the same van, but at separate times. And
It's so awkward.
it was kind of embarrassing because it made it seem like he didn't want to be seen with her.
100%. That's, yeah, he's like, just count to 10, then go.
Yeah, yeah, it literally was like he counted. So, also the morning after the Met Gala in May, they both were spotted separately outside of the Carlisle Hotel. So
Hmm.
Olivia has an apartment in the city also. So it's like you're at the Carlisle for a
Hmm.
reason. You wouldn't
Right.
be at the Carlisle unless you were like hooking up with someone. They've never confirmed or denied their relationship in any way, but it does seem like he's like maybe embarrassed by not her, but like just this public spectacle in general and doesn't want to be associated with her. I don't know. It's kind of giving fuck boy. It's kind of sad.
Yeah, I would be so devastated because, oh my God, if I were Olivia Pontton, I would be really devastated, TBH.
Yeah. And Olivia Pontton, Jordan just asked how old Olivia Pontton age. She is 23. And then Joe Burrow is, I think, 28. He's 28.
Yeah, later 20s.
So, what's notable about Olivia Pontton is that she runs in the same circle as Lily Chi.
We need to do a Lily Chi
We
episode.
do. So, Lily Chi is known to be kind of a high end escort for Tobey Maguire, Leo DiCaprio. Apparently, Leo, and this is all alleged, Leo likes to watch Toby and Lily. And honestly, Toby Maguire, Leonardo DiCaprio is disgusting too. They're all disgusting because
Yes.
Lily Chi is literally a college. I mean, she just graduated, but like a college student. Like
She
you guys are,
graduated this
fu-
year.
it's fucking disgusting. Yeah,
If Olivia Pontton is hanging out with Lily Chi, even though she may not be a yacht girl, she certainly is surrounding herself with that group.
yeah.
Um, yeah.
We've talked about this before. I'm like, I don't think that I could like. I feel like we talked about this when we were stuck in traffic driving from LA to the OC. I don't think that I could be a sugar baby because my vagina would clench up. My vagina would just go,
No, it really gives me the chills.
okay. Um, this brings us, speaking of Tobey Maguire,
Dark. This
Leo
is dark.
DiCaprio. So this is when it gets kind of dark. This brings us to the Audrey Gillette of it all. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right.
Sounds right.
So he is a longtime tour manager of Guns N' Roses. And he has been liking Olivia Pontton's posts for a really long time. He was at an NBA game. Joe Burrow was seen at an NBA game sitting right next to him, and they've been spotted together. It seems like they're like buddy buddy. I think he also may have been in that van at the F1 Miami race.
Okay.
So people say he's a pimp because he's a long time. And oh, and shout out to Proper Influence 484 on the Joe Burrow gossip for this post, because this is what brought it to my attention.
Yeah.
People say he's a pimp because he's a longtime associate of Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire, members of the notorious Pussy Posse.
Self-proclaimed. If you guys don't know what that is, Leo, Toby, and a couple other like 90s heartthrobs would
Mhm.
roll around club hopping in New York City, and they self-proclaimed called themselves the Pussy Posse, and they would bang
Yeah.
girls left, right, and center. And it was a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like talking at the Pussy Posse would be a good Patreon episode also. That's a good
Yeah.
idea, Jordan. They were the original Disgusting Brothers.
Yep.
So people claim that Andre is the leader, and he's also friends with Richie Akiva and Steve from One Oak and Steve Badius, a DJ. And all three of those men are apparently part of this potential escorting crew. And they're seemingly tight with Olivia based on their social media activity. And Andre is apparently the man that introduced Lily Chi to Tobey Maguire. So again, it's kind of like
What?
pimp behavior. And
I'm sorry. I'm on Andre Gillette's Instagram. He looks like he could be an escort, like an overseer. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
he does.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Wait, this is crazy.
Yeah. And so, like, Olivia Pontton and Lily Chi are friends. He clearly introduced Lily to Tobey Maguire, allegedly. And he's been spotted with Joe Burrow a bunch. So it's like, did he introduce Olivia to Joe? Um, it's interesting because it's like you you wouldn't think, ew, he's so scary.
He is scary, dude.
Yeah, they were spotted in Miami together. Olivia, him, and Joe.
The three of them, just the three of them.
And also, people on Reddit notice that Joe always looks kind of high or stoned when he's with Andre.
What the fuck?
It's interesting because, like, I feel like Joe, you wouldn't think that he would like need a pimp to like be set up with hot young girls. Like, he probably has at minimum 10,000 DMs at any given moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's just like, what do you think of this whole like escorting like business? I don't know. It's so like creepy to me.
It is. And the first person I can actually think of who people say is a yacht boy is Zac Efron.
Yeah.
If you are a reader of NT's Crazy Days and Nights, you know that there is this person that he surrounds himself with, that Zach surrounds himself with, named Mohammed Al Turki.
Yeah.
That allegedly pimps Zach out. And that's why Zach is always on yachts. He was recently in Ibiza last year, and he had that crazy pool injury where he was hospitalized, and people were alleging he was yachting that weekend and he was heavily intoxicated. That led to his hospitalization. But I see a lot of parallels between Joe Burrow with Andre Gillette and Zac Efron with Mohammed Al Turki. And the reason there's a lot of similarities is you have these seemingly straight men that are very, very wealthy, that have made oodles and oodles of money doing their own independent endeavors. I just don't understand why someone like Joe or Zach needs Andre or Mohammed. What is the
Right.
reason for that? That's what I don't get. That's the why.
I know because they're independently successful, good looking. It's like, you don't need this.
So what is the purpose?
I don't know. It like creeps me out. Should I be offended that I've never been like recruited to be a yacht girl? Like, how do you get recruited?
No, like I'm asking for a friend. I don't want to work like how I'm working right now. It's tough.
I wouldn't want to do the thing where like I have to sleep with them because again, like my vagina would clench up. And also I'm married, but
Yeah, that too.
but
Yeah.
like the ones that get paid just to like show up on a yacht and like go on extravagant trips with like these like old men, like not no.
Going back to the Joe Burrow slash Zac Efron thing, it's confounding to me. I really don't understand it because these men do not need money. They have money that will last them not just in their lifetime, but generations to come. Maybe it could be, this sounds really dark. Perhaps could it be coercion?
See, that's the thing. It's like Joe is so famously like he private, like he loves his privacy.
Right.
And now you're running in circles with people who probably will have dirt on you at some point. Like they are probably collecting dirt on you that they could expose at any moment.
Do you know what
Like
I'm kind of thinking of as you're saying this?
what?
Diddy. And
Yeah.
Diddy had so much blackmail on so many
Mhm.
people because he would host these parties and he would have videos of people and he would say, if you speak, I will release this video and everyone will
Yeah.
see. So maybe there's a bit of blackmail or coercion involved because again, it doesn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
like maybe he genuinely likes Olivia Pontton. I don't know if like this is just, an escorting situation, but like the fact that she was staying at his house in Cincinnati during an away game, like maybe he genuinely likes her. Like, I don't know. But the fact that Andre Gillette, this guy, or Guillot, do you think it's pronounced like the French way? Guillot?
Yeah, it's Andre with an I at the end, and then the last name is Gillot.
So I don't know how
So
to pronounce it, but the fact that he is involved is just very, I don't know, it seems nefarious.
yeah, I think that's the missing piece. It's one thing to be hanging out with a thoughty TikToker, OnlyFans
Yes.
girl. It's a whole other thing to surround yourself with this man who's known to be around yacht girls. I mean,
Yes.
you can't deny that associating yourselves with the likes of Andre Gillette for Zac Efron to be associating himself with the likes of Mohammed Al Turki. There's something to be said about that.
Definitely.
So we're not just
And
making it up. This is a very,
and going to like the white party, and a lot of NFL players, a lot of successful NFL players end up being invited to the white party and go to the white party. But like, he's rubbing shoulders with the white party this past summer or last summer is where I think everyone spotted Lily Chi and Toby Maguire for the first time.
yep, and that blew up headlines.
Yeah. So the fact that Joe and famously Toby Maguire's ex-wife, Jennifer Fisher,
Yep,
I think her name is, came out
defending.
and was like, he was just helping this drunk girl into a car. And everyone was like, shut up. We know that's
Shut.
not true. We weren't born fucking yesterday, Jenny.
No, that was really junior of her to say. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
just now you're making it look worse. Just maybe don't
Yeah.
say anything.
No, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So the fact that he was at this white party with the disgusting brothers themselves, the pussy posse, it's just, I don't know. It makes me sad as not just a Bengals fan, but a Joe Burrow fan, because
Yeah.
I want him to ideally stay true to his roots as this nice Midwestern boy. I think we're far past that. I don't think that he's a nice Midwestern boy anymore. I think that he, from what it seems, has gone full Hollywood, unfortunately. I just hope it doesn't affect his ability to play this game that he's so good at. Like, I don't want him to get overtaken with the I'm gonna go yachting with the disgusting brothers in Miami lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I want him to focus on the game so that the Bengals can finally win a Super Bowl selfishly. I don't know. It's kind of sad. It's disappointing. And I think a lot of Bengals fans have been realizing this slowly over the past few years is that he's going Hollywood.
Yeah, and I can see why, as someone who's followed his career for years now, way before he went all Hollywood, it is probably upsetting. I would be upset if I saw him with
Mhm.
these alleged pimps going all Hollywood and leaving, the one that got away. I would be very upset. I'm like, we miss the old
I
Joe. Come
know.
back to us.
And again, you guys, people are obsessed with Olivia Holtzmacher because of this. Because, like, what is more devastating than the girl that potentially got dumped by Joe Burrow and watching him frolic all over the world with
Ugh.
supermodels and celebrities? Like, again, it's got to sting. So, yeah, it's disappointing. I'm sad that they broke up still, honestly. Like, not to be all parasocial, but I really believed in them. I really believed in that
Yeah.
relationship. So it's just, it's a little bit disappointing, but it is what it is. I guess that's just what happens.
Yeah. Money and fame, unfortunately, will
Yeah.
change 99% of the people that get the opportunity to acquire a lot of money and fame. It's just the way it works.
And it's so
So,
crazy how you can go from being like just this normal, like backup player at Ohio State to in a matter of just a few years, you're at
yeah.
the Met Gala. It's such a crazy, crazy, like,
Come
what's the
up,
word?
ascension. Like, yeah.
Ascension,
Yeah.
ascension. I was like the opposite of fall from Greece.
Yeah. I mean, it's not.
Ascension to Greece.
Yeah, like it's not normal. And I think when you're hit with so much exposure in such a short amount of time, you're probably just trying to like keep your head above water. And maybe he's just surrounding himself with the people that are gravitating towards him. And he's just like, cool, you seem cool. Come into my circle. You seem cool. Come into my circle.
Yeah.
So,
I just hope that he has people around him that know him and love him for him and aren't I'm actually all maternal. Like Joe Burrow needs to worry about like people taking advantage of him, but like maybe he does.
yeah. I mean, you need those people around you. And I think certain celebrities that have maintained normalcy throughout their career, I think of actually Sabrina Carpenter is a good example.
Hmm.
I feel like she still keeps her best friends close to her. I can Hillary Duff, I feel like has maintained like normalcy. It seems like she has a really strong family unit. But do you know if Joe Burrow is really close with his family? Are they like kind of a grounding force?
I think so. I think that he is. And I know that also he was recently look up Sam Hubbard. If you haven't seen Sam Hubbard is another so fucking hot football player. He just retired from the Bengals and he is also a Cincinnati. He's from Cincinnati, played at Ohio State with Joe. So him and Joe have been very, very, very close for years. And he was just recently at his wedding with a bunch of his Ohio State friends. So I hope he still has those old longtime friends. He's not just hanging out with like Tobey Maguire and Leo DiCaprio all the time, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, Joe Burrow is so fine. I'm just on this
I
TMZ
know.
article 22, and he's playing golf with Kendall Jenner's boyfriend, Devin Booker.
Yeah, like again, like he just for the past several years has been just running around constantly with celebrities.
Yeah, Nick
And
Bosa, Sam
again,
Hubbard.
that's what happens. I also don't think it happens to the players that aren't like truly amazing players. I think that part of the reason that he's ascended like this is because he's so genuinely good. Like we
Yeah,
said, Jimmy Garoppolo, you could argue was like the hot guy of the NFL for a couple years, but he wasn't very good. So
yeah,
it's like no one really cared about him that much. He wasn't like running around with Devin Booker or like whoever it was. But the fact
right.
that Joe is so talented too, he's just like such an it boy. So it's kind
Mhm.
of inevitable that he would start like getting this famous and getting this much attention. But again, as a Bengals fan, it makes me feel protective over him.
Yeah, no, I totally understand why now. Like, it makes a lot of sense. Him at dinner with Sam Hubbard, and I'm just like, he's so hot.
I
I'm
know.
stalking
And
it at this picture.
Sam Hubbard is so hot too. So like Swifties on TikTok are obsessed with every just like hot white guy in the NFL, but especially Joe, Sam Hubbard, and Nick Boza.
Yeah, Nick Bosa's cute too.
But I guess that's about it, you guys. This was like a fun, very personal one for me. So I hope you enjoyed learning about Joseph Lee Burrow, the man, the myth, the legend. Did you enjoy your little football lesson, Christy?
Yeah, thanks so much for taking me on the ride with you today. It was really enlightening, and now I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole on this Andre Gallat
Yes,
character.
I think the Pussy Posse will be a really good Patreon episode, like
Yeah, I did a
Jordan said.
Leo episode on X Knows All, and then I went down like a full rabbit hole on Pussy Posse, but I think it's time for us to revisit.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Okay, great, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being patrons. It truly means the world to us. We can't even tell you how much it means. And we will see you again tomorrow on the main feed.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.